Hey, how is it going? Today is day 6 of the 100-day challenge of inspiration and motion. And I'm so happy to be here with you today. So today I am going to talk about self-reflection. So this all started because I'm doing the Artist Way. And the Artist Way is a 12-week program to untap and unleash your creativity and push through any doubt or blocks that you may be having to living a fulfilling life. And so I started on a Tuesday. So every Tuesday, kind of how it works, just to give you a little bit of information if you're curious. So I started on a Tuesday. So every Tuesday I'll read the chapter, and it's about 10 to 20 pages. It's amazing. And then it goes from week to week. So it's a 12-week program. And throughout the week, there are different tasks that you can complete. And then you're also supposed to journal first thing in the morning every day. And then you're supposed to do something called an artist date. And that is taking time for yourself, whether it is self-care or play or whatever it is. You know, we go so much in life just going through the motions and checking things off our boxes and doing work that we don't allow time for play. And that is a huge way of stroking your creative juices. So anyway, I do it on Tuesday, and then Monday is always my reflection of how the week went. So that led me to self-reflection. And before I get into that, I want to first just talk about when you have an idea for something. I like to do different challenges, or I remember in the past, I used to be like, oh, I'm going to start eating healthy on I'd usually do it on Monday, and because it was the start of a new week, and Sunday was the weekend. And so I remember it'd be like Tuesday, and I'd be like, okay, next Monday, I'm going to start eating healthy. Like, I am going to get back on track on Monday. And I would spend the whole week eating like crap because on Monday I was going to get back on track. And then Monday would come, and I had set these habits of eating like crap for the past like 4 or 5 days. And then Monday would come, and I would continue to eat like crap. And I'd be like, okay, next Monday is the day. Next Monday I'm starting, and I'm serious this time. And same thing. So the way to do it is just to start right now. Like last time I did the Artist Way, I did it on Sunday, and I really liked that. This time it's a little bit funky because I am doing it on Tuesday, and so it's just kind of feels weird. But the thing is, I started on the day that I had the idea. Really, I had the idea Monday night, and so I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm committing to starting, rather than 5 or 6 days out and then you change your mind, or like I did with my eating good, like I set habits in motion that went against what I wanted. So the key is just whatever you want, starting immediately before you can talk yourself out of it. So that is the first thing. But that is not even what I want to talk about. So I want to talk about self-reflection. And it is so important that we do that. I know that it's kind of scary to go inward. And I believe that a lot of problems in our lives come from not going inward. I think that alcohol, sex addiction, all sorts of addictions come from not facing what is really going on. And it's so important because you get to heal yourself, you get to heal your wounds, you get to learn more about what's going on in this moment so that you can get past it. And you also just get to learn about yourself more, in which case, hopefully that leads to loving and appreciating and accepting yourself more. So I know in my own journey of self-reflection, I do it pretty regularly. I journal almost every single day, and it has been huge for me. And I will say, in the beginning, when I used to journal, my journal would be like, I should do this, I should be doing this, I'm not doing this. And I would feel bad and get down on myself with all of these shoulds, and I should be better, I should be better. And it wasn't really a self-reflection. It was more just like me pooing on myself and making myself feel worse. And so that was kind of defeating the purpose. So now when I do self-reflection, I like to do it in the moment. I find that to be the most helpful. So if I'm working on something or if I'm having a feeling of resistance, and resistance for me a lot of time presents itself in avoidance or not feeling good about something. So if I'm working on something, for example, right now I am working on a new audio workshop. And if I'm feeling resistance, I might avoid that. I might eat to avoid, or just whatever it is to avoid actually doing it. And one thing that I like to do in the moment is to sit down with a notebook and ask myself the question, like, what's really going on here? Why am I avoiding this? And from asking that question, I realize most of the time that it's fear. And then I go deeper, like, so what am I afraid of? And oftentimes my fear is not being enough, or that I'm not capable of learning this new skill. You know, anytime that you're doing something new or scary, it's exciting at times, but it can also be really scary. And, you know, that resistance, it shows up, and it's kind of how you handle that resistance, because that resistance can shut you back down and put you back down, and then you feel worse about yourself. So I have found that self-reflection in the moment is so helpful and so key. And it's not just for these day-to-day things, but even, I mean, self-reflection is very important in any type of goal setting. So if you have a goal in mind, which I hope that you do, and just on that note, I would love to hear what your goal is. Like, what do you want? That is a perfect question to start with your self-reflection. What is it that you want? Maybe you want to be happier. Maybe you want to sleep better. Maybe you're not sleeping better, or maybe you're not sleeping well. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Maybe you want to travel more. But if you aren't clear on what you want, then how can you move toward that thing? So really getting clear on what it is you want. And again, it can be big or small. It can be quitting your job to start something new, or it can just be to not be so angry. I know in the past that has been my goal. So get clear on what it is you want, what you're working toward, so that you are shooting for something that is going to keep you moving forward. And then once you have that, reflect on how it's going from a day-to-day basis, or even a weekly basis. You know, a lot of times life happens and you get caught up and things come up, and next thing you know, it's the end of the week, and then it's like, oh crap, like I said that I was working toward this, and that I want this thing. I said that I was going to try and go to bed earlier, but so-and-so called me on this day, and then this came up on this day, and so the whole week I really didn't actually intentionally try to go to bed earlier. So you always have to be reflecting, whether it is, okay, I feel this way right now. What is that about? I'm going to go deeper, which is huge. That is huge. If you can tap into that, like I said, so often, because we're not going deeper into our feelings, into our emotions, because yeah, it's scary, and oftentimes it's something bad, or it feels bad, but dealing with it, you learn so much, and then you're able to move forward. So that is, in my opinion, even more important than tracking your goals, like getting in connection with yourself. So that is really all I have to say, I guess, on self-reflection. So I like to do it, like I said, in the moment when I'm feeling resistance, and then also on a weekly basis to track my goals and to track my progress, because I want to be making sure that I'm holding myself accountable. I want to be making sure that I'm taking the right steps that I want to toward where I want to go. So I would love to hear what your goals are, what you're working on, and what you want. What is the one thing right now in this moment that you want? I would love to hear. So post in the comments. And if you would like more inspiring information, you can listen to my podcast, Show Up to Go Up, or you can check out my website, showuptogoup.com. I also have a newsletter that is coming out full of inspiration. So I will be back tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye.